Hello and welcome back, audience. My name is MassiveBrad and welcome back to my FIFA 20 Dortmund career mode. Now, before we get into today's episode, I just want to say a huge big thank you for love and support on the channel. And as always, guys, at the start of today's episode, we are going to take a look at the games that lie ahead. We will also be finishing off the summer transfer window in today's episode. But to kick off today's episode, not only are we coming to the end of the transfer window, we're also taking on our arch nemesis away from home against FC Bayern Munich. A huge game in the Bundesliga between the two teams that pretty much go on to win the Bundesliga. That match is huge for us. We will then be finishing off the summer transfer window and moving into the month of September, where we then take on Freiburg at home. And then we finish today's episode with a game against Frankfurt away from home. So how those three games currently lie, you guys know we've got to pick two to play and one to simulate. I think we're certainly going to play the Bayern Munich game away from home. I think we'll then simulate the Freiburg game because they're home, and we've got a slightly better chance of winning or drawing against Freiburg because it's at home. And then we will, of course, play the game away from home against Frankfurt. But there is a lot to get on with in today's episode. And something that I've realised over the last couple of episodes, guys, is they've been between 30 to 40 minutes rather than between 20 to 30 minutes. The reason for this, I didn't actually know. I couldn't work out why it wasn't working, why I couldn't get the video any shorter. And I remembered that at the start of career mode or a new season, I used to dedicate one episode to pre-season and then another one episode with no games, just all based on the transfers in and the transfers out. So if we had any targets, we would go for them. What I've done differently in season 2 is I've been playing games, but also on the fact of doing transfers and building a shortlist and doing it in the middle of episodes. I think moving forwards in career modes, because obviously we are going to have another transfer window in January, but January's not too bad. It's normally after pre-season, as you're about to kick off the league. A lot can be happening. So I think moving forwards with career modes, when I first start and I'm in the summer transfer window or season 2 or 3 or 4 or so on, in the transfer window, I'm going to dedicate one episode with no games just for us going after our targets and trying to move on the players that we want to sell. Now, selling's a little bit more difficult because we can't just make it happen with a click of a finger. But what we can do is list all those players, discuss it, and then as we move on through the season and we start advancing in time and playing games, if an offer comes in for one of those players, we can look to move them on. And as we talk about an offer coming in for players, if we jump over to the inbox straight away, we did get an offer, firstly from Liverpool for Donny van der Beek for €59.9 million. It run out because we were advancing in time and we didn't get to accept it. I also didn't have the opinion of you guys. In the last episode, I did put up a straw poll saying, should we sell Donny van der Beek for €59.9 million? I didn't put the link up till after the video had gone up, so I feel like a lot of you guys unfortunately didn't see it because only 3 of you voted. The votes were 2 for yes and 1 for none. So because yes won by 1 vote, we are now going to sell Donny van der Beek. Now, to be fair, in pre-season at the start of the Bundesliga, we've said that we don't think Donny van der Beek is going to be able to get into the team. So we are going to accept that offer of nearly €60 million from Real Madrid, and hopefully we can get Donny van der Beek out the door and focus on bringing some players in. But before we start today's episode, guys, my favourite part of the videos is going through the comments left by you guys on the previous episode. So the first comment comes in from me, and it was transfers. Guys, make sure to drop some right backs and right mids in the comment section below. I will start again. I will 100% need to be signing a new right back, whether that's a player who will be Klosterman's understudy, because of course we've got Lucas Klosterman at right back. We did unfortunately lose Piszczek, who retired at the end of season 1. He did get to lift the Champions League trophy with the captain's armband on his arm before he did unfortunately retire from Dortmund. But we don't have that next player that can be there. And I wanted either someone that was going to be ahead of Klosterman, and then Klosterman would be the rotated player behind that right back, or we bring in an understudy that can be behind Klosterman, learn from Klosterman, and also rotate when he's not fully fit. So I said that we need to get either a Klosterman understudy or someone who walks straight into the team to take over from Klosterman. As for right mid, I will keep working hard with Hazard and try and keep him happy at the club, but it's best we have a short list of a few right mids just in case he packs his bags and gets up and leaves. Now, a lot has happened since I left that comment on that video, guys. I've actually been watching. If you haven't watched that, I would highly recommend it. If you have Netflix, it's called Sunderland Till I Die. And it's 2 seasons. First season is 8 episodes. Second season is 6, I do believe. And it's based on Sunderland. It's about, you see transfers, players coming in on loan, players going out, how the transfer window works. It was really good to see like behind the scenes of how a football club works as a business. Because as all of us being football fans, we see it as in like, oh, we're linked with Timo Werner. And then suddenly, Timo Werner's holding a red shirt and he's signed for Liverpool. But with this Sunderland Till I Die, you see all the stuff that happens behind the scenes, how the contract negotiations go, how transfer offers get put in, whether offers get accepted or declined, transfer deadline day. So you don't just see the side of football and the sport, which is what most of us see. You see the business side. And I think a lot of people forget that a football club is a business. It works off results, and those results are wins, winning trophies, winning tournaments, earning more money to buy more players. So to see the business side of a football club in the likes of Sunderland, it was a real good watch. So if you guys haven't watched it, go and watch it. It'll certainly change your perspective on how difficult and easy it is for players to just join the club. It was really eye-opening to see how Sunderland do run their club as a business. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because of the simple fact of, I said that as a right mid, I'm going to keep working hard with Hazard, try and keep him happy at the club, but it's best to have a shortlist. After watching the Sunderland career mode, I won't give too much away, but there's a player that starts playing up. He starts not wanting to sign a new contract. He starts messing around. He's, telling all the fans he'll be signing it soon. And without too many spoilers, he just plays everyone off each other, basically. The manager, off the owners of the club, off the fans, making promises that he was never going to keep. And in the end, the owner of the club said a great line, and that was, we're a team, not a one-man band. So we can throw all the money at this player to try and get him to sign a contract, but we're not going to be run as a club by this one player and give him everything he wants just so he stays. We're a business, so if we have to sell on, we'll sell on, and we'll bring in. So I've changed my mind over Torgan Hazard. We are going to sign a right mid, and I'm going to try and keep Hazard happy. But I'm also going to show him that, hey Torgan, I've brought a new right mid in here that gets ahead of you. So if you want to get up and go, we've already got a replacement for you. If you want to stay and fight for your position, then great, stay and fight for your position. But I'm not going to get in the situation where I don't sign a right mid. Torgan Hazard decides he's going to leave, and I'm left with Sancho at right mid, and he is the only right mid player. That is something that I'm certainly not going to do. So we are going to sign a right mid in today's episode. Now, on this transfer comment that I left, the first comment is coming from Roy saying, Adriozola is good enough to play for you. He is on the list. We'll take a little look at him. Tando, I think that's how you pronounce it, or Entando. Sorry if I am butchering your name. He says, right mid equals Mateus Zoraccio. And I said, is he any good? And he said, he is very good. He also plays cam and centre mid. Well, Nintendo, or Tando, however you pronounce your name, Zoraccio is on the list. Nino says, for right mid, check Pavon. He's cheap but very talented. Should cost you around 15 million. He plays for the US. Thank you very much, first of all, Nino. He is also on the list. This next comment, though, was a little bit of a strange one. For right back, go and try Lucas Klosterman. Well, Nino, I'm not sure if you haven't looked at the team or you've missed it, but we've already bought Lucas Klosterman. We bought him in Season 1 to rotate with Piszczek. He's on number 1 right back right now, so we can't go and sign him. He's already at the club, but never mind. Maybe you'll notice now. And then, now we move on. There's no more comments on my comment, so now we're going into the proper comments that you guys have left, not leaving a transfer comment on my comment. Charlie says, the build-up play for the second goal against Leverkusen was absolutely fire. Turn them from Bayern never losing to Bayern always losing. Great video, bro, with the flex on. Well, thank you very much. We did turn them into Bayern always losing, which is exactly what we want to be doing. Next comment in coming in from Lucci Williams saying, sell Thorgan Hazard and buy Kai Havertz. You should also buy Arthur. Well, Lucci, firstly, if an offer comes in for Thorgan Hazard, I'll be open to offers and be willing to listen to offers from other teams. If we get the right offer and the right amount, I'll certainly sell him. Kai Havertz, on the other hand, a lot of people wanted him in the Liverpool career mode. I can tell you, he is on the list at the Dortmund shortlist in our career mode at Dortmund, so he could potentially be a right back. But as for Arthur, spoiler alert, we did sign him in the Liverpool career mode, so we won't be signing him here. Harry Woodward says, one right back I quite like is Dumfries from PSV. Does the job and he's quick. I think he might have a cheap release clause, but I'm not 100% sure of that. Well, Harry, Dumfries is on the shortlist. Next comment in from Charlie saying, the reason you only got 1 year of Hakimi, yeah, I was a bit confused over this. It's because we were already halfway through his loan. Now, I know that Hakimi, who, luckily enough for us, we brought back to Dortmund after buying him from Real Madrid. He was one of our first targets. I think so far, which I'll just check as we're talking, guys, I think we've brought in Haaland and Hakimi. They are the only moves so far, and we've put Wolf out to Valencia on loan. So we've only made 2 signings so far. We're probably going to make another 2, maybe even 3 in today's episode. But I was confused as to why Hakimi went back after 1 season. It's because they loaned him season 18-19 and 19-20. We're now obviously at the end of season 20, or 2020 should I say. So that's why he went back. So unfortunately, he went back. We've had to buy him. He's already been at the club a year before we actually started this FIFA. So that explains quite a lot. Thank you very much for that, Charlie. Nino saying, another classy episode, mate. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Nino. I appreciate it. George saying a good option for right back is Hoover. Plays for Liverpool and can play both right back and centre back. Very good potential. Takes time to grow because he's young, but he could be a good option for the future. And maybe even a low tier team if you don't have the budget like Dortmund. Well, George, thank you very much for that option. First of all, I know Keanu Hoover very well. We've got him in the Liverpool career mode, and he does break into the team now and again. He's a cracking player. But I like the fact you went on and said he's got a great potential, but it takes time. Unfortunately, we are finishing and retiring at the end of this season from Dortmund. We've done 2 seasons at Liverpool, 2 seasons at Dortmund. We are going to do one final career mode series before we do start on FIFA 21. I'm not going to bring him in this career mode simply because of that reason. It'll take so long for him to grow, and he's not high enough rated from the start. Other than that, in future career modes, if we do have a lower tier team, which is potentially on the cards, I will certainly look at bringing Keanu Hoover in at right back. But thank you so much for the transfer option. Anyway, Bobby Plays says, I'm so sorry, guys, if I look like I'm sweating a bit. It's so hot in here, and because I've got the lights on me and stuff, it's so warm. And also in the UK right now, we're having crazy weather. We've had thunder, rain, lightning. Next day it's 24, 25 degrees. Then later on, it's thunder and lightning again. It's crazy at the moment, but it is awfully stuffy and hot where I am from right now. Bobby Play says, quick question, do you use Elgato to record? Yes, I do. Niall, look at Havertz or João Felix from Atleti. Both got cheap buyout clauses and both can play on the wing or middle, I'm pretty sure. Well, Niall, Kai Havertz is already on the list, and João Felix, because of you, is also on the list. And the last comment coming in from UI saying, love your channel. Well, thank you very much, UI. I appreciate all your comments from you guys. Now we have to get on with the nitty gritty. But so you can see that I haven't advanced yet to the Bayern Munich game for the simple reason of I wanted to wait to see if we were going to sell Donny van der Beek. We have done now. I will quickly show you guys who is on the transfer list currently for us. And then we'll advance all the way to the Bayern Munich game. I will only go in for one of these players if somebody else comes in for them. Hopefully, that is not going to be the case. But we've got Ricardo Pereira, who was someone that I put on at right back from Leicester. We've got Denzel Dumfries at right back. Now, my only worry with him, we're not going to be able to bring him in because Denzel Dumfries has joined Sevilla. He used to be... that is a bummer. That is a bummer. So if I'm honest, guys, Dumfries was the man I was going to bring in. But he's already joined Sevilla. And he's been there a couple of days because the offer was accepted and so was the contract. So if we try and buy, we could just pay his release clause, I suppose, and bring him in. The other options we then have is Alvaro Adriozola from Real Madrid. It's a tough one. I've never played with Dumfries before, but it would mean splashing 41.3 million. Now, bear in mind, they've only just bought him. It would be a very difficult decision, but they are the options for right back. Moving on, we've got Zarracho, who can play cam, right mid, which is what we need, and centre mid. So Zarracho's staying as an option. Christian Pavon can play left wing, right wing, and left mid. He actually can't play right mid. Now, although I can play him there, playing players in career mode out of position never does their stats any good. So I am actually going to remove Pavon because unfortunately he can't play in the position that we are looking at. Kai Havertz can play cam and right mid, and João Felix can play centre forward and striker. So unfortunately, Niall, João Felix can't play right mid, only centre forward and striker, so we will also be removing him. So the 3 options we are left with at right back is Ricardo Pereira, Dumfries, which will cost us 41.3 million. Adriozola, we haven't got enough information on him yet to see his price. Pereira is 26.5 million. We'll probably get him for about 32, 33, give or take. So 10 million, give or take, less than what Dumfries would cost us. Dumfries is a lot of money, to be honest. He is a lot. The good thing is Pierre is high when it comes to attack and defence work rate, whereas Dumfries is only high and medium. But we've got those three options for right back. And then right mid is now either going to be Matheus Zarracho or Kai Havertz. And probably because it's a fan favourite, probably because of the traits, the work rates, the skill moves, the weak foot. I think Kai Havertz, would have loved to have bring him in at Liverpool, but we don't play Cam and we don't play right mid. So to bring Kai Havertz from Bayer, always losing, especially when they play against us, to Dortmund, that would be a very, very tasty option. But before we get into the transfers, guys, I will now advance us all the way to the match day against Bayern Munich. We will play that game, take it all the way to the transfer deadline day, just to make it that extra bit exciting, and then we will look to potentially make 2 signings in a right back and a right mid before the end of the summer transfer window. So as we now get into this Bayern Munich game, it's probably worth mentioning that we did unfortunately lose Akanji, who we've been partnering with Hummels at the back for 2 months due to an ACL. So we're going to have to try and manage the best we can with, unfortunately, he being out of the squad now. So we're partnering Hummels and Zagadou. Luckily enough, we have got a few decent options at centre-back. We've got Hummels, Zagadou. We've still also got Soyuncu, who we signed from Leicester City that can play in that position. So we're not in too much of a bad situation. We did also lose that game that he got injured in. We played Borussia Mönchengladbach. It was the simulated game, and we lost 1-0. So that was a little bit heartbreaking, but I'm hoping for this game against FC Bayern Munich, we can bounce back after a horrible defeat. We can get the win, and we can show Bayern Munich that we mean serious football this year. Because last year, Bayer Leverkusen run away with the league. Bayern Munich run away, and we couldn't catch them. We started off a little bit shaky with a win, and then unfortunately, out of our hands, a simulated game at home as well, and we lose to Borussia Mönchengladbach. There's not much I can do in that situation. But in situations where I'm controlling the team, like now against Bayern Munich, I have to make sure I'm getting the 3 points and we are getting the win. But you can see the lineup we have going with Paco Alcacer up top in the striker position. A little behind him, we've got Marco Reus in the central attacking midfield. Then Brandt, Delaney, Witzel and Sancho through the midfield with Schultz, Hummels, Zagadou and Klosterman at the back with Berkey between the sticks. We need to get these 3 points. Come on, the black and yellows. It's been about a week since I have uploaded the Dortmund career mode, so it will take me a little bit of a time to adjust back. It's so difficult when you have 2 career modes running alongside each other, especially when the teams are so different formations, different types of players. At Liverpool, we've got the front 3 in Mo, Mane and Bobby. Unbelievable. With Dortmund, we rely on that one striker really, in Paco Alcacer or Haaland or Marlen, whoever's played up there. We rely a lot on them to get in behind, whereas with Liverpool, we've got plenty of options for getting in behind. So it'll take me about a couple of minutes to just adjust back to playing with Dortmund, but I am very excited with this one. As the ex-Dortmund man, Robert Lewandowski, it does get us kicked off in this first half period. Slide in. He's got through. He's got through. Jordi Alba through a goal. Going to bring Berkey out, and it's a great slide and save there from Roman Berkey. Here's Delaney. Over the far side now to Sancho. Sancho over the top now. Looking for Marco Reus, who's going to take it down and hit it on the volley. He's put it over the bar. Thiago now wanting to come forward. Witzel going to intercept that one. Here's Witzel to Delaney. Delaney going out wide now to Klosterman, and thankfully, with Sancho making that run and potentially going to have him in the middle, Jadon Sancho! 1-0 Dortmund! First of all, great ball out to Klosterman, but thanks to Jadon Sancho making that run on the inside, it pulled Jordi Alba out of position, and I managed to just smash it at Manuel Neuer. It does go between his legs and into the back of the net, and with a scoring pretty much right on half-time, as the referee now does blow for half-time. We certainly deserve to be going in with the lead, so I'm happy that we did get 1-0 up. It could have been 2 or 3 if I'm honest. We've been the much better attacking team. 4 shots, only 1 on target, which eventually we did put in the back of the net with Sancho. But on the flip side, Bayern Munich, 1 shot wasn't even on target. It was a comfortable shot for us to deal with as well. So realistically, we are the better team, and I hope as we do get the second half kicked off with Paco Alcacer, we can push on to look for a second, a third, and maybe even a fourth to potentially put him off. And I've now got Julian Brandt, who's wanting to make a run in behind. And I've got Paco Alcacer. I'm going to put it in first time to him. Go on! Oh, Manuel Neuer rushes out to collect that ball. Royce on the inside now. Go on, Royce. Go back to Royce. Come on, Marco. Go on. Here comes Marco Royce. Darting forwards now. Going to call in on his right foot. Marco Royce. It's 2-0. Yes! I am excited by this Dortmund team, and especially when we make another right-back signing and another right mid in today's episode. Oh, we are only building a stronger and stronger team. Go on, Sancho. Keep going, son. Let's go on the inside now and then go back to Sancho. It's in behind, and I tell you what, Julian Brandt, back post, slide it in, Julian Brandt! It's 3-0. Unbelievable. Quick concession. We're 1-0 up. Now we're 3-0 up. Great, solid performance from the lads here. We have absolutely smashed it. Great football, dominated against Bayern Munich, and the scoreline is starting to show that. It's Delaney now. Go on, Haaland. I've got you, son. Straight through the middle. We're going to go to Hazard. Then we're going to go to Haaland if we can get the thing. Haaland's there. Finish it. It's 4-0. And Haaland and Torgan Hazard, who have been on the pitch for a matter of 3-4 minutes, have just bagged an assist and a goal. I have no idea why Torgan Hazard would want to leave this team. Look at that. Torgan Hazard just gets his foot under the ball to lift it out of the palms of Manuel Neuer. Flick it in towards the goal where Haaland's ready to just tap home and put that last nail in the coffin to make it 4-0 Dortmund. Hummel's going to do everything he can here to get his body on the line. Ball into the middle. We're going to get that now with Schultz. Play through now to Julian Brandt. And look at this. Bayern Munich once again are going to be in serious trouble. They've pushed so many men forward. Go to Enes Bardi. Onto his right foot. Enes Bardi. It's 5-0. Wow. Wow. Absolute domination against Bayern Munich away from home. Wow. They have pushed so many men forward. The likes of Martinez, the likes of Nicholas Soul. They pushed them all forwards, and once we tackled and won that ball back, we had them on the counter-attack every day of the week. Back now, Perisic looking to push it on. Because Klosterman going to slide in there. Ball going to come in. We're going to deal with that with Hummels. Straight out to Julian Brandt. And we could have got them once again on the counter. But luckily enough for the Bayern Munich fans, manager, and the players themselves, the whistle is blown. And they are very, very lucky that only ended 5-0. Because stat-wise, I think that could have been 7 or 8. No, we absolutely slaughtered them. It couldn't have been 7 or 8. No, we only managed 5 on target. But with the 5 shots on target we had, every single target shot ended up in the back of the net. 8 shots, 5 on target. You can see the possession. Which, to be honest, with Bayern Munich, they are a team that play it round at the back. They've got enough talent in Manuel Neuer and their centre-backs, left-back, right-back, to play with the ball in their own half. Switch it from left to right and enjoy being on the ball. They tried to do that against us, but we were too quick for intercepting the ball, tracking them down, chasing them down, suffocating them. Where if we won the ball, we were all guns blazing, running one-on-one with Manuel Neuer. It showed, and even though we only had 35% possession, we still managed to beat Bayern Munich, the German giant, the team that normally wins the Bundesliga. We managed to beat them 5-0. Great performance, Jadon Sancho. Well deserved, and picks up man of the match with a 9.5 rating. And we do get ready for our next game in the Bundesliga against Freiburg. Right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are here. The last 10 hours on transfer deadline day. And this is where we look to spend a lot of money and potentially move on a couple of players. I can confirm Donny van de Beek has been sold to Real Madrid for €59.9 million. The board has allocated us €51.5 million, which puts us up to a massive €248.94 million with a wage budget of €452,000 to spend on wages, which is just an absolute madness. Now, we have currently got a deal potentially for a player leaving the club, which is Toprak, the centre-back. We're looking into potentially moving him on. We have had an offer accepted of 9.7 million, so he may potentially go in the next hour or two. But the plan is I'm probably going to advance to around 4 or 5 hours to go, see if any more offers come in for any of our players, especially with Torgan Hazard. And then I think with 4 or 5 hours to go, we will start splashing the cash and bring in some incredible superstars. Now, unless anything happens between 10 hours and 5 to 4 hours, I'll let you guys know and show you and leave it in the video. If not, I'll just advance all the way to the time and then we can look at spending some money. And with only 4 hours to go, it's now Borussia Dortmund's time to start spending some money in this summer transfer window. But before we do that, as I jump over to the inbox, I can confirm we have sold Toprak to VfL of Wolfsburg for a deal of 9.9 million euros, which the board has allocated as 8 million euro. And we also sold Rascal to Astra Georgi, if that's how you pronounce it, for 930,000 euro. We've been allocated 700,000 euro. I think they are the only players that we will be selling on in the remainder of this transfer window. Now, if we quickly, before we start putting some bids in, take a little look. So far we've sold Rascal, we sold Toprak, we sold Donny van der Beek, we loaned out Wolf to Valencia, we've brought in Hakimi, and we've brought in Haaland. Haaland for 21.9 million euro, bringing him in from RB Salzburg, and we brought Hakimi back after he returned to Real Madrid after his loan period here. We brought him back for 28 million euro. Now it's time to splash the cash. This is what you guys have been waiting for. So unfortunately, we don't actually have much on these players. So Dumfries, we don't have an overall rating. Alvaro Adriozola, we don't have an overall rating. Zarracho, we don't have an overall rating. But we do have an overall rating for Ricardo Pereira from Leicester and also Kai Havertz. So I think we'll start with the right back situation. So it's a little bit of a tough one. I think I'm going to remove... I'm going to remove Alvaro Adriozola. We'll remove him from the list. And for me, it's between Pereira and Dumfries. The only downfall is I feel like with Dumfries just joining a new club, although this career mode can be unrealistic, within a couple of weeks of him signing for a new club, we're going to activate his release clause and buy him. It seems like it's a bit unrealistic. You know, if Liverpool bought a player and 2 weeks later someone activated their release clause, it's probably not very realistic in terms of football. I would have liked to have brought Denzel Dumfries in. So I think what we're actually going to do is we're going to approach... but then that's the problem. Ricardo Pereira is then pretty much a higher rating, I do believe, than Klosterman. So Klosterman's 82, Ricardo Pereira's 83, so he would come in pretty much as the main man. Oh, this is difficult. It really is. See, for me, the realistic option here is to bring in Ricardo Pereira from Leicester City, because going in for Denzel Dumfries after he's just joined the club and we're going to straight away activate his release clause, it's a little bit unrealistic. But then, as a career mode creator and someone that, you know, makes videos for YouTube, it's important that I get you guys involved and let you have your say. And Ricardo Pereira was a player on the list put there by me. Dumfries was put on there by one of you guys. So I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I'm going to remove Ricardo Pereira and we are going to go ahead and activate the release clause of Denzel Dumfries after he's just joined Sevilla from PSV. We are going to pay and skip club negotiations. We are now going to jump straight in to offer him a contract. He's only been at Sevilla, his new club, for a couple of weeks, and we are already activating that release clause and diving straight in this. So let's see if we can get him hooked on a contract. So if he wants a rotated role, that's fine, because he's going to be the backup to Klosterman. He is going to be a rotated player. He's going to be the understudy of Klosterman, so that's fine with us. He wants 2 years, well, that's fine as well, because we're leaving in a year's time anyway, so that doesn't matter too much. We want to disregard a release clause so no one comes in January and does to us what we're now doing to Sevilla. Sevilla manager, I do apologise. Sevilla fans, I apologise. And he's not going to give us an idea of what wage he wants. That is a problem, because I don't know what to pay him. So what if we just say, because we can afford it, 40 grand a week a lot, 30,000 euro, give him 200 grand signing on. I hope this hasn't just screwed up the deal. Sign on bonus 200 grand. He's nodding. I always do think if it goes to the player and he's nodding, they accept it. It's close. Okay. We want this deal to go through. but not for less than 54,000 a week and a signing on bonus of 310,000. You know what? We'll accept it. Denzel Dumfries, welcome to Dortmund. I'm very excited to see you play it right back behind Lucas Klosterman. A deal won through the door on transfer deadline day. Now, between Mateus Zarracho and Kai Havertz, firstly, I do appreciate the recommendation for both of these players, but I've got to go with my heart. So many people wanted it in the Liverpool career mode. So many people have asked me to sign him in previous career modes. We are going to remove Zarracho from the list. Kai Havertz is potentially going to be coming to Dortmund. We ain't going to mess around here, okay? We activate the release clause of Denzel. We're going to activate the release clause of Kai Havertz. It's just going to happen. I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty stuff. We're going to activate it. We're going to negotiate. And we're potentially going to bring this young German man to Dortmund to play in the black and yellow kit. He wants a crucial role. What we'll do with is, can we get an important... Just because we've got Jadon Sancho, this is what worries me, but we've only got a year here, so if we can potentially keep them happy, it's not going to work. He wants a crucial. Fair enough, we'll have to work with that along the way. Just keep rotating him with Jadon Sancho. Torgan Hazard, you've probably now, because you've spat your dummy out, lost your place in this Dortmund team, and it is a shame because we are doing wonderful things. We just beat Bayern Munich. You come on for 3 minutes and already got an assist to your name. It's a shame that you're going to, unfortunately, be that way. We're going to offer you 4 years, although we're only here for another year. He's accepted that. He's happy for a long-term contract. Disregard the release clause. So what we'll do here is we'll just remove the bonus. He won 69,000, so he is taking a wage cut of 83,000 euros down to 69. We're going to submit this with removing the bonuses. He's probably going to want a little bit more wage or a little bit more signing on bonus, but that shouldn't be a problem for us because we are strapped when it comes to the cash in the bank. Well and truly, we are loaded. So what we saying, he wants 75 grand a week. That is still, ladies and gentlemen, 8,000 a week less than what he's on at Bayer Leverkusen. So he's willing to take a pay cut to come to Dortmund, and we will go ahead and accept that as we have now signed Dumfries and Kai Havertz with only 4 hours to go in the transfer window. The two signings, the two positions we really felt we had to build with, we had to bulk out. We couldn't risk waiting to potentially see if Torgan Hazard just ups and goes and then we're left with just Jadon Sancho and a lot of pressure on the young Englishman's shoulders if he does up and go, and then he's got to, cover the right mid all on his own. He's got to stay fit and stuff for us. We seem to be getting a lot of loan offers for Guerra. He's not going anywhere. We've got Julian Brandt out there. We've got Guerra. There's no reason why we should be loaning him out. And only an hour to go, we have had another email come in. Again, another attraction for a loan offer for Guerra. He's not going, so let's advance. This last hour we brought in Haaland, Hakimi, Dumfries and Havertz for a total of €178.6 million, bringing 70.7 million back to the club by signing Donny van der Beek, Rascal and Toprak. Let's advance this last hour. Did we get over the €1 billion spent on transfer deadline day? Let's take a little look. No, but it was close. €983.75 million spent across all leagues. Not far off hitting that billion. We can delete that. We've also had a youth squad monthly report. I'll worry about that off camera, guys. But now we have to get ready for the game up next against Freiburg. And up next, we take on Freiburg at home. And I am excited for this one because we do have Kai Havertz ready on the bench to come on and cause some damage. But this is the lineup we are going with. We've got Paco Alcacer up top in the striker position. A little behind him, we've got Marco Reus in the central attacking midfield. Brandt, Delaney, Vittel and Sancho through the midfield. Schultz, Hummels, Zagadou and Klosterman at the back with Berkey between the sticks. It's the usual strong, unbelievable starting 11 to take on Freiburg. Let's get these players warmed up. And can we get this very important win? Yes, we can. 3-0. And Havertz does score on his debut coming on as a sub for Dortmund. Julian Brandt opens the scoreline 1-0 in the 29th minute. Paco Alcacer either scores right before half-time or right after half-time, right on the 45th minute. 47th minute, Havertz come on for Marco Reus playing in the central attacking midfield. And it only took him 13 minutes to get to the 60th minute to put a goal to his name. He scores in the 60th minute. Guerra then comes on for Vittel in the 68th. Delaney picks up a yellow card in the 72nd. And the game was already put to bed. For Havertz, putting the last nail in the coffin, I am very happy with that. Now we will advance to the next game. And hopefully you guys can see Kai Havertz in action, potentially scoring like he did against Freiburg. Well, it's a good job we chose which 2 games to play and which one to simulate, because at the start of today's episode, we thought we were playing Bayern Munich, simulating Freiburg, which is what we did, and then we were going to play Frankfurt. Lo and behold, I completely forgot that the Champions League group stage was going to be thrown in there for September. So we've actually got a Champions League game. Now, had we have played Bayern Munich and played Freiburg, we would have had to have been simulating this game against Dynamo Kiev. But luckily enough for us, that's not the case, which now means the Frankfurt game is pushed back to the very next episode. So we're finishing today's episode with a Champions League game against Dynamo Kiev. You can see here, so I can show you guys who is in our group. We have Dortmund, Chelsea, Lokomotiv Moscow, and Dynamo Kiev. Realistically, I would like to hope that we do finish top of this group, but as long as we finish in the top 2, that's all that matters, and we will manage to get through to the knockout stage. Now, of course, this year, my focus is on the Champions League and also the Bundesliga. But if it comes down to a team as a couple of points within us in the Bundesliga, and I've got to choose between playing the Bundesliga game and playing the Champions League game, my heart is with the Bundesliga. We won the Champions League in Season 1. We got absolutely romped by Bayern Munich and Bayer Leverkusen in Season 1 when it comes to the Bundesliga. I don't want that to happen again. I don't want the gap to just grow and grow and grow and we don't have a chance of lifting the Bundesliga. So, for me, number 1 target is to win the Bundesliga. Number 2 is, of course, Champions League. I will try and do the double in this Season 2 and our last season at Dortmund, but anything could happen. So, we will have to wait and see. But considering the way the games have fell and which one we've already simulated in Freiburg, it does mean we will be playing our first game against Dynamo Kiev. Very, very excited for this game. You can see the lineup. We've gone with Paco Alcacer up top in the striker position. A little behind him, we've got Marco Reus in the central attacking midfield. Brandt, Delaney, Witzel and Sancho through the midfield. Schultz, Hummels, Zagadou and Klosterman at the back, with Berkey between the sticks. Now, you can see the likes of Zagadou, Hummels and Paco Alcacer not 100% fit, around the 90 to 95% fit. So we definitely will probably have to bring Alcacer and potentially one of the centre-backs off, depending on if Dynamo Kiev do come at us and cause us a lot of problems. We could be very quiet at the back, and that won't be the case. But unfortunately, with this game getting thrown in before the game we were originally playing against Frankfurt, it means that we haven't had as many days rest. But we will not get into this game against Dynamo Kiev, and let's hope we kick off our Champions League journey with a win. Well, the end of today's episode has had a little bit of a turning point with us now playing a Champions League game. To be honest, guys, it just went straight over my head, the fact that in September the Champions League kicks off. I finished that game, the simulated one against Freiburg. I pressed the A button and the Champions League music starts playing, which of course I'll have unfortunately had to cut out for you guys because EA don't bother to buy the rights to the songs that they have or buy the rights to like music that gets played. They don't do that. So if you want to make content, you've got to skip the music and cut it out. Otherwise, you're going to get copyrighted strike. But it is going to be Dynamo Kiev to get us kicked off in this first half period. Let's get it underway. And let's absolutely annihilate them. Little 1-2 here now with Witzel, who's now going to move forward. Let's go in to Paco Alcacer, who's going to turn his man. Still Paco. Feed it through there now to Marco Reus. Through goal. Marco Reus makes it 1-0 after only 8 minutes. What a cracking bit of football there from Dortmund. I split the defenders, put the ball through Marco Reus. Fair play to Paco Alcacer, who held the ball up very well. He had 2 men on him. Just held the ball at his feet, little touches. And as Marco Reus makes that run, it took a heavy touch to get ahead of the midfielder. And then played it right between the 2 defenders for Marco Reus to go home. And slot it in the back of the net. 1-0 after just 9 minutes. Let's go Zagadou. Uh-oh, that's going to be a problem. Let's go Hummels. Let's go Klosterman. Come on, Klosterman. Oh! He should be challenging the target and the keeper from there. He smashed that well wide goal. They got him behind there and they were seriously going to punish us. It should really be 1-1. On the inside now to Sancho. We keep getting him behind their left back. Sancho now coming forwards. A little bit of skill. Sancho to Witzel. To Marco Reus. Marco Reus! 2-0. Boys against men. That's all I can say. That is all I can say. It's too easy. We can get Sancho in behind their left back like he's not even there. I could exploit that so much. And this could be 9-10-0. I can feel it already. I'm not going to keep exploiting that position because I don't want it to be 9-10-0. But we are certainly dominating already after 23 minutes. When that ball is Julian Brandt, and now we're going to Sancho, who is going to exploit these Dynamo Kiev defenders. Look at Sancho go as he just burst past all these defenders. Sancho's going alone here. Go on, Sancho. Through on goal. Looks to finish it. What a tackle to keep them in this game. Bit of skill here from Royce. Trying to get past. It's not going to happen. It's Sancho. Round out to Julian Brandt, who's going to dart forwards. Julian Brandt slides it into Paco Alcacer in the back post. It's 3-0. It's too easy. It is too easy. 3-0 half time. Scrappy defending from Dynamo Kiev. Slid the ball in. Paco Alcacer in plenty of space. He just taps it home. There's no one between the sticks. He honestly couldn't miss that. And here we go. Half time is upon us as the referee blows for half time. Great first half. Very dominant like we did against Bayern Munich. We are dominating a Dynamo Kiev right now. I think because we're dominating so much, I will look at making a couple of changes. I think I'm going to give Hummels a rest and bring on Seunju because I said one of the centre-backs may well come off. I think we're also going to bring... Oh, I don't want that. I'm going to bring Sancho off for Kai Havertz, who's going to play at right mid for us this season. And then I think the last move is going to be Haaland for Paco Alcacer. We're already 3-0 up. There's no need to bring on the likes of Havertz and Haaland to increase this scoreline. We're already dominating, but I just feel rotate the team as much as we can, keep everyone nice and fresh, and just look to punish every team that gets put in front of us. But it is going to be us kicking us off in the second half period. Let's get it underway. Well kicked out, win that header. Well done, Witsel. Seunju misses it. Going to get a shot off Berkey with a great save. Seunju's first touch was shocking. It's a corner for Dynamo Kiev. Let's deal with it. Ball coming in. Oh, it's going to come to Kadar. It's going to be hit out. It's put into the middle. And Shabanov has put it in the back of the net. Very poor defending. It's 3-1. I don't feel like it's game on, but look at this. Chested back. He hit it. Nobody's there. Zagadou doesn't get tight. Seunju doesn't get tight. And he's just there ready to just hook the ball, put a bit of lift on it, and put it over Roman Berkey. It's 3-1. As I said, I don't think it's game on. But they've got one back. Back now to Havertz. Beautiful footballer, yeah. Ball through out to Marco Reus. Feeding it through for Kai Havertz. Through a goal. It's still Kai Havertz. Dances him. Havertz. Oh, what a save. And Delaney over his far side's got Kai Havertz, who's wanting to go. Who's going to have an incredible touch to get past Zambrano. Here comes Kai Havertz. Through a goal. Kai Havertz. It's wide. Let's go Havertz. Let's put it through there now. And Havertz once again is going to exploit down this far side just like Sancho was. Here's Kai Havertz. Plays it back now to Marco Reus. On for his hat-trick. Marco Reus can't convert. Roman Berkey's just got to kick this out. Try and run onto it with Haaland. It's not going to happen. The referee's going to blow for full time. We have beaten Dynamo Kiev away from home. 3-1. Great start to our Champions League journey. Honestly, guys, we could have scored 4 or 5 there easily. Stat-wise, 11 shots, 9 on target. Wow. Smashed it when it comes to shots and making sure those shots are on target. Out of the 9 on target, we only scored 3, but their keeper did have a spectacular game. They also managed 8 shots, 6 on target, only 1 in the back of the net, so we've done very well defending. Roman Berkey had a great game for us, but the important thing is we do go on to bag those 3 points in the group stages of the Champions League. Right guys, and here we are back at the Central for the final time in today's episode. I've advanced all the way to the game, which will be the first game in the next episode against Frankfurt. And to be honest, I'm glad it's the first game because I didn't realise how well Frankfurt were doing. They are currently 3rd in the Bundesliga, 2 points behind Bayern Munich, but have a game in hand. In fact, the Bundesliga standings right now are actually pretty crazy. At the top, we have RB Leipzig, who are yet to lose a game. I am hoping EA, FIFA 20, career mode hasn't glitched to the point where RB Leipzig are going to do a Bayer Leverkusen and go all season without losing a game. They can draw games, but they won't lose a game. And hopefully it's not long before we play RB Leipzig so we can put them well and truly in their place. Because 5 games played, 5 wins. They are on a roll at the moment. Bayern Munich are 4 wins and 1 draw. We're 3 wins and 1 draw, but still got our 5th game to go. But Frankfurt is the team we are playing first in the next episode, and with them sat in 3rd position and them also playing their 5th game, if we beat them, we move in to the top 3. In fact, if my calculations are right, we go joint 2nd with Bayern Munich, depending on how Borussia Mönchengladbach gets on. In fact, they've played their 5th game. So yes, we will go 2nd with Bayern Munich, just sat behind, 3 points behind RB Leipzig. So the next episode, we really need to book up our ideas and make sure we get those very important wins. So we are away from home to Frankfurt, which we will be playing. We then have Dusseldorf back at home, which we will be, of course, simulating, which then leaves the final game in the next episode against Chelsea in the Champions League. The question is whether Chelsea managed to beat Lokomotiv Moscow. I will just check that quickly to see if they did. If they've drawn or something, it puts us in a great position to potentially beat Chelsea and guarantee us a place. But no, Chelsea did beat Lokomotiv Moscow. They battered them 4-0. So we take on Chelsea in the next episode. A win is a must. And then we can probably get away with simulating the next Champions League game against Lokomotiv Moscow. And then as long as we play again against either Chelsea or against Dynamo Kiev and get a win, we should really bag ourselves a place in the knockout stages of the Champions League, and we can put more of our focus on the Bundesliga games. But we've had a pretty decent episode. We've managed 3 out of 3 wins. We've done over Bayern Munich in style, which was nice to see. We won the game against Freiburg 3-0, and Havertz scored for the first time since joining Borussia Dortmund. And then we've just seen off Dynamo Kiev with a 3-1 victory. Now, one thing I will say is we signed Dumfries in today's episode. He didn't actually get a sniff in today's episode. He didn't play at all at right back, but he will be against Frankfurt. You can say I've already got him in the team there. He has already gone not happy simply because I didn't play him in 2 of the games that were available. We need to get him back on track, especially if he's going to be the understudy to Klosterman. So really, I need to focus on playing him, make him happy again, and we can move forwards with that. Kai Havertz, I have to admit, I was very, very excited to bring him to Dortmund. And when he scored in that game against Freiburg, I was over the moon, thinking he is going to kick off his career hitting the ground running. When I've just physically played with him then against Dynamo Kiev, I notice he's not as fast as I would like. He's not a Torgan Hazard or a Sancho. He doesn't seem quick, and that's why I probably think his main position is a cam, and that's probably why. Because he probably does better sitting behind the striker, holding the ball up, passes in behind, putting the ball into space, because he's not the quickest. So playing him out on that right mid position could be a little bit of a risk. I'm not saying it's a waste of money, but when you're playing a right and left mid or a right and left wing, you need them to have decent pace. Maybe it's because it was his first game, he was a bit nervous, he didn't seem as quick as I would like, but he certainly didn't seem to be as fast as the likes of Torgan Hazard and Sancho, which may affect us because that's the whole point of our game, that's the whole point of our formation, that's the whole point of our tactic. Julian Brandt and Sancho on the wings, getting in behind, running down the wings, and then looking for Paco Alcacer or Haaland or Marco Reus or Goethe. That's how we win games. That is how the team is set up. They are the tactics that I have put in. Having someone a little bit slower playing right mid now may affect us, but maybe instead of me running down the wing and putting the ball in, maybe we use Kai Havertz to kind of drift into the middle of the park, try and find the pass, or just try and get through the defenders with a bit of skill, or try and dart away from a defender, get through on goal, try and get a shot off, try and also score goals. He did cost us a lot of money, so I'm hoping, a whopper, I think we spent, 178 million euro, so we spent a lot of money in the summer transfer window. I certainly hope it's going to pay off, and I hope that Kai Havertz does come through and start scoring plenty of goals for us. But that is going to do it for today's episode, guys. If you have enjoyed it, please do give it a big thumbs up for me. Don't forget to drop your comments down below if you're new around here. Click that subscribe button. Don't forget to share this with your friends and family. And I've been MassiveBrad. Peace out.